Good evening, dear friends. Good evening. Good evening and a welcome. A hearty hello and a hi over to you on this beautiful Saturday Eve, 9 p.m. Eastern Time in New York City, where it is 4. It's logged in at 4. And that's all I'm going to say about weather, because one of the things I think is a sign of senescence is talking too much about the weather. It's 4. Get over it. Okay. And I must make a confession to you. I have been absolutely, positively mesmerized by the Candace Owens, Erika, KIRK, TPUSA to a lesser extent, story. And if you would have told me that, I would have said, you're out of your mind. There's nothing to it. I thought there's nothing to it. Tragedy. I thought for sure people would want to talk about the problems with the ballistics, the crime. I'm an ex-prosecutor, ladies and gentlemen, a trial lawyer, licensed since 1983. Somebody says, I kind of know this stuff. Even the case involving this very sad case of Nancy Guthrie. Oh my God. Maybe it's the police part. Maybe what about this, and this? Anyway, it's my nature. So I thought for sure, I said, now when this happens, the essence is going to be the particular, the strata, the various levels of the criminal story, the narrative, the performative act aspect of the crime itself. No, that's not it. It's these two personalities. Candace Owens, who is just I think she's the toughest thing on, when I say the internet, that's a pretty broad thing, but she's no Mr. Beast. I don't know what that guy's about. But anyway, she has cojones that you just can't. I mean, I've never seen it. And she sticks. And a couple of times I thought to myself, and I told you, I've said it before, I said, listen, I don't know you, but I would stay away from this Brigitte Macron. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what Not only is she going to be victorious in this now, because it didn't make any sense. It was in Delaware, and it's like, what are you doing? And she's got 19 counts. It all changed. It changed with Epstein. It changed with all these vectors, all of these stories that were something, you know what they say, they'll say too soon. Sometimes stories in the news will affect and taint and destroy the storyline. All you have to do with all this stuff about, what do we call them, PDF files, pedos, catamites, pederasts, ephebophiles, hebophiles, chronophiles, gerontophiles, perverts, parophiles, disgusting, degenerate, the lower, the flotsam and jetsam of humanity, depraved, concupiscent, corrupt cadres, consortia, and convocations of the demented. And all of a sudden, you're going to go to court with us in Delaware. They're going to say, cut it, settle with Candace, something nominal, dismiss with prejudice, and move on. Forget this. Forget it, especially stories about when you were a teacher and he was whatever. Anyway, I don't know how she does it. Well, anyway, here comes this Charlie case. I didn't know anything about the story. I didn't know the Colvet from, there we go. Zaman says, I'm anti-satanic. Does it make me a bad person? Not at all, sir. Not at all, thank you. I'm an anti-semantic. Semantics and weird forms of, but thank you very much. Very kindly, sir. Thank you. Or ma'am, I don't know. Here comes Candace. Again, elephantine cojones. She needs a wheelbarrow. She said, my God. And then comes the first time I saw Erika KIRK. I, like most people, I didn't know who she was. This poor woman with the 2 kids, I didn't know anything about her. Nothing. What did I need to know? She's a widow. I got feelings. I'm smart, right, Fredo? Anyway, I felt compassion, empathic towards her. I felt something. This is something critical to note. One of the most interesting side stories to all of this is, of course, the issue of Erika KIRK. What we saw at first. And had she just pulled away, done some a little introductory, worried about her kids, talked about Charlie, talked about the movement, talked about the work, TPUSA, carrying on the legacy, it would have been great. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be fantastic? Talk about Charlie, talk about this, here's where we're going. But what does she talk about? Me. At first I'm thinking, am I the only one to say this? She keeps talking about, I'm going to do it because I know that I have, reminds me of Jimmy Swaggart. And I'm thinking, this is bullshit. We can tell bullshit. I'm not buying this. First of all, how can you blow being a widow? The world is just hanging on to every word. You own the world. You don't have to say anything. And then like that, all of a sudden people can't stand her. And I'm telling you right now, nobody can stand her. Don't give me this nonsense. Oh, you can watch some of these cable news, but they're committed to her. First of all, these people are so clueless. They have no idea. They just bought the narrative. It's incredible. And I wanted to share this with you. This is going to be taught in business schools, in crisis management classes. How do you take the position of being the widow of the most famous, beloved person in the country? And you're the widow. And people just cry. They look at you. They want to touch you, to meet you, just to get closer to Charlie. You didn't have to say anything. Remember Coretta Scott King? She never said anything. Jackie Kennedy. People were dying. Remember the picture of John? And she didn't have to say anything. It just... Oh, no. Not our gal. No. Say nothing. Now's my chance. Get out of the way, boys. Erika's here. Ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. And if you think I'm being mean, get over it. You're not paying attention. It's past being mean. It is past. She had that pretty substantial window, not an Overton window, but a window where she could have done everything she can to pull people in, and she blew it. Our good friend Zamet says, red flags. Red flags went off when she said in that first speech, you have no idea what you've done, pretending righteous indignation. Oh, I'll go through it. Thank you for that. Oh, absolutely. How about this one? How about what she didn't say? How about what she didn't say? To do how many shows did she go on Fox News in one day? What, isn't Harris Faulkner enough? You got to do Hannity too? What is this? Because that's the gold standard. That's the gold standard. It's Fox News. God damn it. That's the Fox News. That's what they want to do. That's what Dan Bongino wants. That's what everybody wants. They don't want to go into they don't want to help anybody. They want to go to Fox News. And you know who's going to fall flat on their face? Marjorie Taylor Greene. Because Marjorie, honey, you ain't got it. You might be great when you were a congressperson, but you don't have it now. Look at Matt Gaetz. He's on OAN. Matt Gaetz is good too. Doesn't have it. When you're not the congressperson, nah. Massey, Josh Hawley, any of these people. Lindsey Graham, Gomer Pyle, says, I am Sergeant Carter. Yeah. She came out, Donald Trump, in an assassination attempt on live TV with the bullet caught in freeze frame, gets hit, falls down, jumps up, fists up, plays golf the next day, never talks about himself ever. Not that he talks about everybody else. Sometimes he'll say stupid things. Oh, this Obama thing. I don't know what. As the kids would say, dude, you're on your own there, Pally. You're on your own there. But back to the ranch. He never spoke about himself. He never talked about himself. All she talks about is herself. Or the crying. Lose it. It's already an act. And Charlie, I don't believe it. It's like bad acting. Once you've seen it, it's like it's always the same. And I said, don't worry. We're going to do it. Jesus God. Thank you, Jamie. Look, I know what you're thinking. You're going to think, I'm cruel. You know better than that. You know better. It's an act. It's a work. Yes, I'm sure of course. Of course. I'm not saying she's happy, and I'm not saying she had anything to do with his dispatch. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying it's not theoretically possible. I'm not saying any of that stuff. All I'm saying is that if I told anybody, I want you to go out and take this equity that you have, this political equity that you have gained, this love, this affection, this absolute, complete, and total, just you could go out there and just, even if you cried and did this business and didn't say anything, though, for a while, you got to change the act. But if I did a contest, can anybody change the momentum? They say there's no way. There's no way you can change the momentum. There's no way all of a sudden anybody can possibly come out and take the love and affection of everybody and then say, oh, come on. It's like nothing else. And here's the thing. All Candace said was, don't bother me. Don't bother me. Our good friend D Star says, hi, Danielle from Brooklyn here. Danielle. My theory is that Erika and all the new high-ranking hires this year, Charlie met Erika, are undercover CIA ops. They needed a more legit way to siphon money. Do you know what, by the way, thank you for your kindness. Do you know what, Michelle, Danielle from Brooklyn zone, by the way, cold enough for you. I hope your streets are clean from this goddamn stupid neo-Marxist putz mayor of ours. Anyway, Zoran the moron. Anywho, you know, Danielle, a couple of years ago, I would have said, you know what? Nah, there's no way. This CIA, you're out of your mind with the CIA. Not anymore. Anybody remember the first time you heard pizza? Remember that talk? Remember that? And you said, hey, you're not going to believe this. What is it? Well, I don't know what's there to it, but, you know, these WikiLeaks came out, and this guy, John Podesta, you're not going to believe this, came out in 2016 or something. No, was it? Yeah, I guess. And they have these emails, and he keeps talking about pizza over and over again. It's the damnedest thing. It's weird. If I'm going to, do you like fennel in your salchicha, Look at this. I love that. Thank you there, our good friend Pilgrim. Do you like fennel? I don't know. Do you like finocchio in your sausage? Maybe I like. What kind of sausage do you like? Sounds like Andrew Cuomo. Sausage. What kind of sausage? Do you like the sausage? Do you like casings, natural sausage, or a patty? I like a breakfast sausage. I like a link. Do you like kielbasa? Well, that's a good one. How about a bratwurst or a You say, what the hell are you talking about sausages for? This is some kind of code. Wouldn't you think? Why would, let's say, Henry Kissinger and Rockefeller be saying, I like a nice Italian sausage, not too hot? Well, guess what? Some dudes from 4chan and Reddit, but 4chan in particular, especially some of them in the pedo world, said, we know what that is. That's our code word. You know, Pizza, hot dogs, sauce, the whole bit. Yeah, we know this. We know this. And then someone in 4chan or Reddit or somebody, in order to call the subject matter that they were discussing, they called it Pizzagate. They did. And it stuck. When this came up, remember this? We said, hey, what about this? They said, you're a conspiracy theorist. You're an idiot. You don't understand something. You see, let me back up a little bit. I can only speak for myself. Some of us have been going through this for a long time. Experience has its benefits. It really does. I was talking to somebody the other day about 9/11, and I'm talking to them like a peer, and somebody said, I was in middle school. And I said, oh, yeah, we've seen this before. We've seen this. Remember the McMartin Day School? Remember that? Remember how they told you there's nothing to that? Really? Remember that? Remember that story? This has been going on, this stuff. As an example, I don't want to get off of the Erika thing, but what I'm saying is, there are examples upon examples of people who have been saying for the longest time that there's something to this, something critical, but nobody wants to listen to you. Well, they do now. And what we're saying and I'm saying is, this, and going back to what Danielle said from Brooklyn, could this be CIA? Absolutely. They raised $250 million ever since Charlie was dispatched. $250 million. Oh, don't forget, Trump 2020. That was ours. Don't let anybody fool you. Don't let anybody fool you. Oh, and one more word, excuse me, lest you get confused. You are always welcome here. Here's our good friend Maddie says, I didn't have a window. I had a great offensive. What the hell is this? Let me try to read this. It didn't have a window or had a great offensive like. I don't know what that means, but I love you, man. Put the pipe down. Just put the pipe down. It's going to be okay, my friend. It's going to be okay. Some of these things, they're going to think this is code. Somebody's going to be walking out to go, did you hear what these people write? What does that mean? I don't know. Anyway, I don't even know where the hell I was. That threw me off with that one. Going back to this whole thing with everything seemed okay. There was Candace. Candace never bothered anybody. Anybody. She had a problem with TPUSA, little Charlie KIRK. All of a sudden, here they come. Who? Laura Loomer, Alex Jones, Nick Fuentes. Nick's been kind of like, Nick, pardon my expression, shot his wad. He came on too hard, too strong. He said, what's your second act? Remember that. If you come out like, then what are you going to do? You said that about the Jews. Okay. Thank you, Beast. Look at that beautiful guy right there. What is his act now? I don't know. But they started coming after. And then, this is what sold me. Ready for this? When they said our girl Candy was crazy. That's it. I'm in. Stop it. Where do I join? When I hear that, you're right. Tell me somebody is crazy. So, tell me somebody's crazy. Listen, Alex Jones, I love that guy. I give him a lot of leeway. He was the granddaddy of this, the Mac Daddy. He started this. Sometimes, though, I will tell him, hey, AJ, I don't know where you went with this. Adderall psychotic? No, I don't think that Candy is an Adderall psychotic, whatever. And when Nick Fuentes are coming at her, and Laura Loomer, and Ben Shapiro, oh, I know what that's all about. Okay, all right, fair enough. That's when I was in. So here she comes in. I said, okay, Candace, what do you got? What do you got for me? And I thought, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. That really makes sense. Especially I was going over the forensics. I was going over the whole bit of the forensics of what this meant, of what had happened regarding this, and how her insight was really good. Then it happened. I don't know when it was, and I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe you do. I don't remember Candace ever calling out Erika flat out. Somebody says that Erika, that somebody's suggesting that, and because this is the old, it's very childish, that Candace was in love with Charlie, wanted to marry Charlie. No. First of all, those two would have been like that. No. If Erika had a Charlie, or Charlie, excuse me, if Candace had a Charlie, or Charlie had a Candace, no. I believe they were friends and respected each other, and they worked well together. But I think Candace is very happy to take her at her word. I like the fact, by the way, that she's into her Catholic faith and really into it. I've always said, if you're going to be a Catholic, play by the rules. That's like tennis without a net, which is what Robert Frost said about poetry without rhyme. In any event, so here comes Erika. Stop. And then those eyes. The eyes of Laura Mars. Remember that? Do you remember the eyes? Remember that? The eyes. Dear God. Have you ever heard of four walls, rather? The Japanese had the wonderful thing about, I think it's the four walls. It's called, oh God, the iris, the eyes. I never forget. I get that in seppuku, which is sanpaku. Sanpaku means three whites. Have you heard of that? The three whites? Sanpaku. Leave it to the Japanese. They come up with these great observations. Sanpaku is if you have the iris here, or the pupil, the sclera, the white part, if you see above the pupil, if you see white here, that means you get that. And if you get four walls, and it's a way of reading eyes. And I never forget listening to it. There was a woman, I caught her. It wasn't a political podcast, because, by the way, YouTube is still the best, because you can hear some of the greatest stuff ever. It was a woman who said she was an acting teacher, acting coach, or acting actor. And she said that Erika is like the worst actress anybody's ever seen. Just terrible. And the way she sells something, it's somebody who's not very good at it. Because remember, at first, the act was good. And then you said, wait a minute, she's doing it again. And then you said, oh. And what killed me, if ever I had any doubt whatsoever, if there was a scintilla, an ort, an atom of doubt, you know what it was? Our good friend here, Maddie, says, sorry, the super chat text on phone is small. I was saying Erika KIRK had a great offensive line and lead blocker to run behind, and she blew it. Oh, absolutely. You know what? Tell you what, though, Maddie, I liked your first one better. I like that Sanskrit Esperanto. I don't know what that language was, but thank you for that. Oh, she had it made. See, I could have told her how to do it. Simple, but I'll tell you in a moment. But she came on, and immediately it became about me. It's me. Because she said, this is about me. Now, I hope there's no offense. Please, ladies and gentlemen, specifically the ladies, I don't know how to say this. When little girls first perform, okay, typically speaking, when you're a male and you want to go out there and you want to perform, you go into sports. By the way, D says, Candace was always respectful to Erika. Yes, till Erika started being shady. Erika's grieving is not natural. She's ruined everything Charlie created. Here. Thank you for that. You're absolutely correct. But historically, when a boy said, hey, I want to go out, go into sports, young man. No, Dad, I want to be sexy. What? I want to go out and be handsome. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, kid. You want to go out and play sports? Go play sports. You got to perform. Can I be sexy? What's with you and the sexy? I don't know. Just do it, and then maybe, I guess. That's what men did. When we were young men, and you want to go out there, I mean, you could go into academia, which is fine, but if you want to go out there, you go on to sports. Be the captain of the football team. Go out, sports, football, baseball, letter jacket. I'm sports. Performance, accomplishment. What did a girl do? You can be a cheerleader. Now, with all due respect, hang on. The cheerleaders today, you can break your neck. These aren't even, some of the men, whether they're gay or not, I don't know. I don't think it matters. Some of these guys are brutes. They're catching women in the air. This is some of the most incredible athleticism I've ever seen. But that's not the way it used to be. It was, hey, team, hey, sis, boom, ba, and all that bullshit. And then there was the cheerleaders, and then you had like the rifle team and the flag. These are like the second tier. Can I do the flag? Yeah, go do the flag. What is this? What are we, militaristic nonsense? Remember, though, that was girls. I'm sorry, but it wasn't about performance. There was no athleticism. It was, are you cute? That started it. That's why every little girl, every father in particular, has got to sit there and say, now, let me tell you something. Listen to me. Look at me. You may be pretty, and that's great, because God knows you're the most beautiful thing in the world. Always build up self-esteem. But I want you to be smart, because smart is what takes you further. That's what gets you the respect. Because you can be smart at 60 years old, but you're not going to be serving wings at Hooters if you are. You know what I mean? Looks are great, but that's not it. That's fine. Don't run from it. Well, here comes Erika. Miss whatever it is. And then she's going to do her, oh my God. Did you see her reels? Look who it is. This is Monica Soler says, CO put it all on the line, her wealth and reputation, to seek the truth. If you have nothing to hide, there's no reason to lie. Absolutely, Monica, you're correct. Candace does it. Remember, also, the best thing to do is tell a lie. You don't have to ever remember the truth. Just tell a lie. Tell the truth. What am I saying? Liars have to remember. Now, what did I say? What did I say about? I don't know about you, but I know people. I know some people who are liars who lie just to lie. Have you ever met people like that? Just to lie. For no reason. For no reason. I don't get it. I'm not sure. I don't know anyway. Lying is a pathology, which is another story. But Candace just did her thing. And here comes Erika. And Erika thought, it was almost like, who are you? She could have worked together with her. She could have worked together. She's territorial. She's not the brightest thing in the room. Sorry to say. Candace is smart as shit. But Erika, sorry. No Niels Bohr in this package, I can promise you. But notwithstanding that, all she had to do was this. Think about this. And here's Erika. People crying. My job is to continue the great work. Imagine this. This is what I would have done. She walks out and there's all these kids standing behind. Not kids, young people. Men, boys, girls. These young men and women. This one's in college. This one turned their life around. This one is there's a preacher. This one's wrapping bandages for whatever it is. This is our legacy. This is what Turning Point was. Is to instill in young people that what people call conservative spirit. I'm telling you, they gave conservative ideology. They made it cool. Going to school on Sunday. Going to church on Sunday. People who in essence were celibate, who waited until marriage, did things that seemed hokey and antediluvian and hoary and venerable and otiose, concretized, archaic, ossified, old, and they made him cool again. What about Charlie, who said, I want a wife to stay home. Stay home. I want you to stay home. By the way, please, I need to get those likes up. I'm not going to bother you at all. It really means a lot to the trajectory of the show. Maddie says, Candace Owens made the perfect modern day comparison to Erika KIRK when she was, it was Kobe Bryant's wife, Vanessa. Yes. The time following Kobe's tragic death. That's what grieving looks like. Yes, you're right. In fact, you're so correct. In fact, Candace said that Kobe's wife didn't come out. Vanessa didn't say, and listen, go out there. The best thing to do is buy season tickets to the Lakers. That's Lakers.com. Lakers.com. What was Erika? That's TPUSA.com. Come on, this is great. Hey. What killed me, first of all, you got to understand this. This is my thing. Certain things drive me crazy. Can't help it. One of them is, hey guys, you guys, hey guys, what I'm going to do for you guys? I hate that. I hate it because everybody uses it. You go to a restaurant, can I get you guys anything? I don't see any guys here. We could be your grandparents, but no. I mean, I just hate it. It's insincere and it's bullshit. It's one of these things people say literally, and my heart literally dropped. No, it didn't. You'd be dead. What? So anyway, she starts off, she comes out with the rings. Lose the gold. What are you doing? These kids are working 90 hours. They haven't had a break. They haven't seen their family. And you're walking around dripping and going. And and she goes, hey, guys, it's me. Don't you love me? That's right. Little Miss Sweetheart, America's favorite. You love me. You really love me. It's me. That's right. You're not seeing a hallucination. It's me. Erika, you love me. You really love me. Charlie, who? Oh, yeah, Charlie. Right. Yeah. Anywho, so our merch number, it was like Glengarry Glen Ross. It was like ridiculous. It was like, coffees for closers. What is this? The merch numbers were this, the hats were this, and you guys were great. And Charlie was, and we're going to work double hard. And by the way, if you take any PTO, make sure you put in for your time. Did she ever have any grief counselors? Did she ever talk to these people, these young people who were absolutely just panicked by this, just freaked out? No. How about when these people lost their job? Did any of you find people ever lose your job? A job that you said, I busted my ass. And they didn't even care about me. And they're gone. And didn't they know somebody was going to be recording it? And this last woman, I forgot her name, but she was very good. Oh my God. You see, as a trial lawyer, you've got to put your case to the jury. If your witness doesn't have jury appeal, you're dead. You're dead. If you have somebody who is the victim or the cop or somebody where the jury says, yeah, that's what you want. Raising Eli says, my question is, why didn't Charlie give Erika a kiss goodbye when he went into the bedroom to grab his wedding ring, but no kiss goodbye to his wife? Listen to me. Good luck with that one. I heard everything, and I don't know what to believe. And thank you, by the way. I don't know about you. Maybe you heard this one too. Did you hear that Charlie was talking to a lawyer? They were gonna break up, or he was done with her, or I mean, I've heard every. Who knows? There's so many things that didn't make any sense. First of all, this woman, remember one thing. My friend Gordon Soley, the great Gordon Soley, said, some people would rather climb up a tree and lie than stand there and tell the truth. She came across this virginal bullshit about, I don't know if she had any kids. Who knows? That she was this, she's into this little Miss Christian. Listen, there's a lot of good Christians out there, and the best Christians are the ones who keep it to themselves. They don't wear a lot of crosses and gaudy stuff. They don't say, see? A Catholic. Got it. Which is fine, but they don't have to wear it on the sleeve, so to speak. This is the one who came up with this virginal sense. Well, I was a little, well, she's got this boyfriend and that. Remember, sex sells and the cleavage. How many boyfriends does she have? Look, it's okay. You don't have to be some virginal, whatever. But she came across as this little Mary Sunshine, this not this Vestal Virgin, but this little Miss Prince. I didn't drink. You're drinking. She's like this. Well, did Charlie know this? I mean, I don't know if it matters or not, but I always got the impression that Charlie was sort of, look, I don't know what the story is. I don't know about. Listen, let's make sure we clear something up. I don't care about your past until you told me something about your past isn't true. If you lie about that, now you're putting it into evidence. Now you're putting it into evidence. There's an expression in law. You never want to hear this if you're trying a case. When the judge says, Mr. or Miss So-and-so, you've opened the door. Uh-oh. That means you've done something which would have been verboten, which would have been off limits, but because you brought it up, because you walked into it, now we get to talk about it. It would have been classic case. I can't, during cross-examination, during impeachment and evidence, I can't say, you ever been charged with a crime? You ever been arrested? Can't do that. I can ask you if you've ever been convicted of a felony or a crime involving false statement or witness, like crimen falsi, perjury. That's it. Felonies, perjury, convicted. How many times? That's it. That's it. But if the lawyer representing, let's say the defense lawyer says, you ever been arrested? Nope. Now I get to break the door down. You've opened the door. Well, Mr. Terwilliger, was that? Never been arrested, huh? Perhaps maybe I can refresh your recollection. Maybe you forgot. How about, which I never could have brought up. But you opened the door. You brought up arrest. Now I get to close the door. Well, that's what she did. They got these pictures. Does she not know how this thing works? These creepy people of this. How about the guy with the pizza? What the hell is this all about? Have you ever found yourself saying, I sound crazy? No, I really do. I mean, sometimes I sound like a nut. And certain opinion said, did you hear about the chat log incident involving Erika and another female? Yes. Again, there's a couple. Yes, I did. There was a very weird, is this the 15-year-old she was talking to? And some weird stuff. Let me tell you something. Kids are off limits. Even chatting with them. No adult should be talking scandalously, concupiscently, in a scabrous, salacious way, with clever riposte and repartee to a 15-year-old and a girl. You mean the one where she says, I'm not on the other team yet or whatever? It's weird. What are you doing? That's why these people that's the whole Pizzagate thing. Why are they texting each other? Because they think they're never going to get caught. It's weird. What do you think about that, Charlie? What about if, what if Erika did play for the other team? At least, pinch hitter. Remember, you brought this up. You came across as this and that. Nobody brought it. You told us this. I get the impression, maybe you do. I get the impression Charlie was, I don't think he's a child, but I think he's kind of innocent. I think he was kind of like, dude. I mean, in a good way. I I like him. But he just seems like sort of a... I think I believed him when he says about doing the Lord's work. I believed him. I believed him. I think he was sincere, because you see, when you don't believe something, it shows through. It's gonna show through. You're not fooling anybody. You're not fooling anybody. And what about the hate? Oh my God. Oh my God. You idiots. Let Candace just go away. You keep drawing her in. You're Now, Candace will say something. This is what I love. She goes, oh yeah, well, Charlie and I were into remote viewing. Charlie could affect the frequencies of street lamps. I'm just saying that. If anybody else said it, it sounds nuts. If Candace says it, it sounds like, well, maybe it could be. I mean, there's nothing that when she said something, she has a unique ability of making it sound like, well, maybe she did. She doesn't give a damn whether you like her or not. Doesn't. Do you agree with me? I think the number one person on the internet platform, in terms of popularity numbers, is Joe Rogan. That's it. Now, Joe is not the most influential, but he's the most popular. You know what I'm saying? He's popular for a variety of reasons. I think one of the reasons is sincerity. I think when you listen to him, he really is interested in whatever he's talking about. But the number one, who agrees with me? The number one most powerful, the person who could say, storm the Bastille, vote for this one, don't cash your IRS checks, or who knows, get a tattoo, or stop eating dairy, or I think it's Candace. Absolutely. Absolutely. She's consistent. You believe her. I think she is the most. I think she is 100%. Now, I'm not going to sit here and make fun of people like Tim Pool or anybody else about it. That's so. I know what I believe. I don't have to trash anybody else. You can make up your decision. They're obviously very popular in terms of the numbers. You know what I mean? But she is it. Period. Bar none. Tucker is, I don't think, as if Tucker says, vote for Massey, I don't think that is the same. If Candace said it, yes. That's why Candace said it. And see if this makes the most sense. There are a lot of people. Oh, D-Star, by the way. D-Star was on, that's a great name of a group. D-Star says, you hear of the exploding microphone theory, and the company that makes them blew up a month later. Killed people inside, too. Too much of a coincidence. You know what, D? You tell me, thank you for this. You tell me what is impossible. Tell me. Tell me what's impossible. You want to know what's impossible? Tonight my beloved is on the phone. She's with Survive. You have no idea. She is at Lynn's Warriors. And what she has told me, talking to survivors, and talking about people who've been to this, real frontline people who've suffered this. But the story that would blow your mind is Epstein. You don't even know, you're not even, there is a contingent, there is a group of people. And that's why, please, and by the way, you've been supporting her at Lynn's Warriors, and I appreciate that. You don't know. These people are just forgotten. You can't believe this. You'll sit there and you'll say, do I share DNA with these people? Seriously, do I share? It's, so what you said about exploding mind, anything's possible. Remember, where Marshall McLuhan said that little lies are hard to keep secret, but big lies are easy because of our incredulity. Am I right, honey, or what? She's just, I mean, you can't believe this. I can't, you can't, it's just, it's when you get into this, it never affected me where it made me appreciate life, and it made me appreciate the sanctity of children. Little kids are, I just look at them, oh my God, please protect them. They're the only things that come out into this world completely devoid of any negativity. They don't hate, they just love. They're so perfect. And how people want to destroy that innocence, it just, oh my God. And I told you this, as a prosecutor, I saw a lot of stuff. And the things that you would think would be, tough, were tough, but, I mean, not tough. It was very, we had a job to do. But juvenile, involving dependency, abuse, neglect, or abandonment, and what we saw of kids, and the medical reports of what they did, to read the lab reports, some pathology reports of what he has what he has seen at the emergency room to infants, you want to just say, oh no, this is wrong. This is a mistake. So there's nothing you can say to me where I would say, absolutely. Don't ever feel like you can ever say anything where I'd say, oh, that's impossible. Sometimes I think these things are unlikely, but impossible? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'll never forget a friend of mine who was kind of in the entertainment business, because we know a lot of folks in that. And he said one time there was a very famous person, a woman whose name you would know, who said something to the effect of, how do I phrase this? She says, the only person that she has eyes on is her son. And he wasn't supposed to be hearing this, but he was listening to this. He goes, and she said, because he's the only person who would tell me no. You see, most people, and this is what's important, most people understand that for us, when we are growing up, we go through the steps, when we go through puberty and girlfriends and boyfriends and your first love and falling in love, sex and romance, it's pretty transactional. It's, you and someone you love, and they might have an incident here or there, but most of us do not barter, sell, trade, or commodify our bodies, our soul. We don't have people owning us. We just, it doesn't happen. Most people just, and that's the best way to do. And even that, there are a lot of people walking around who were scarred tremendously by what happened to them. And really, what happened to them was pretty mild compared to what it could be. And I'm not trying to say mild. If you knew, and they'll never tell you this, what goes on and how Hollywood in particular. Anyway, so that's a different story. That's for another chapter we'll go into. So I love sincerity. And I hate bullshit. And I hate people who think that somebody either thinks they're better than me, or that somebody thinks I don't care if you think you're smarter than me. That's okay. That's competitive. I dig that. But better than me? Or you're somehow born to a different, and when you lie to me. And going back to what I said before, and I got off track, which I do. When girls follow that cheerleader beauty pageant takes whatever rational thoughts you have and destroyed them. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Johnny Lane said, mainstream media disseminates a left liberal zeitgeist induced by a group of elite left liberals. Weltanschauung. See, now you got me going crazy. Leave it to the German. Weltschmerz, or I think of it. Thank you, by the way. I still like Witzelsucht. Witzelsucht, Sitzfleisch. By the way, remember, Witzelsucht is a neurological disease where the symptoms are people who are prone to making inappropriate jokes, puns and dirty jokes. It's called Witzelsucht. 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 Anywho, back to this. So you're into this world, and Erika says, I'm hot. Now, you've met these before. She would say to you, no, you don't understand something. And you've met these people. No, I'm hot. And not only that, I've got the schmaltz. I've got the bullshit. I've got the gift of conveying to you the giddiness. I can be Stepfordy. I can be like Vanna White. I can work at a car show. I can be absolutely 100% whatever you want to call it. Okay? Okay. That's who she is. Then, Fort Huachuca. All you got to do is say, yeah, I was at Fort Huachuca, yeah. What's wrong with that? Working with our brave military? Absolutely. I'm proud. I'm proud to work with our brave military, and yes, that would have been it. Sure, and any time I get to work with our brave men and women protecting our country, standing for what we believe in, I will do it. But that's not what she said. Fort what? What are you talking about? I don't know. Lying. Her first instinct is, I can lie because I'm so brilliant and gorgeous and sexy and smart, and I'll bat my eyes and I own you. No, honey, it doesn't work like that. You lied. Not only that, you're in a CIA industrial on EMP with Woolsey? What are you? You didn't tell us that either? What? I mean, and then they put on this Mitch Snow. Remember this poor guy? Hey, Mitch Snow. I shouldn't do that. Mitch Snow, Mitch Snow, that son of a bitch, he's gonna lie, Mitch Snow. What are you yelling at Mitch Snow? He's a goddamn liar. All of a sudden they came out, which who knows what happened. They put on Mitch Snow's son, supposedly the estranged son. Remember that one? Who said, yeah, he was for Huachuca. Verified everything. They're so bad. They're as bad as the Pima County Sheriff's Office looking for this. Anyway, I shouldn't make sense. I hope she's okay. But I don't think she's. Anyway. Lie after lie after lie. And then to take these poor people, these poor young people, and then to fire them and bounce them, and then they get real. And listen, by the way, there's two things I don't do. Well, as far as this. Number one, I don't know about you, and maybe I'm making the biggest mistake of my life here, but I can't take Candace's work that she works hard producing with the great cameras and the lights and her whole bit, and I take chunks of her show and I say, see? And I regenerate them so that I can comment on them. What do you need me for to come? I'll tell you, I'll say, listen, go watch her. I don't understand how they do that. Half of these shows sometimes, if you say, excuse me, can you just leave Candace on? What do you think? I don't want to think about anything, really. Well, tell us what you think. Without pointing to this. See, I like to talk about what maybe this is me. What does it mean? The psychology behind it, the philosophy, the sociological aspects of this. But that's one thing. And number two, I don't get into the inner workings of TPUSA. I don't know shit about that. I'm not there. I don't know who Colvett is and these people. I don't know. Maybe this woman was an idiot. I don't know. And I just, and I'm not going to accuse somebody, well, they're a fraud and they're committing. You get into very dangerous areas with that because I don't know anything about this. But what about the pizza thing? What about the pizza? What about this? What the hell's that about? What about that? What's that about? I don't get it. I don't get it. If I ever interviewed Candace Owens, I would never talk about the case. I would talk about other things. What was the biggest blow to you? What was the biggest sense of betrayal? What surprised you about what do you call yourself? What do you do now? Remember, and this is the most important, and listen to me, my friends, very carefully. Sometimes there are people who can say a lot of things, and sometimes they're completely full of shit, and other times they don't. Okay? Pardon my French. This is about as blue as I get. I'm very scatological. That's the most prolific word that we have. But there are things, there are people, there are areas that I find of such interest. And sometimes somebody will say something that's interesting. Nick Fuentes can say, for example, 8 out of 10 things that are, you might say, racist or anti-Semitic, whatever you want to do. But he'll say something that makes sense. He'll say, that's not America first. I'm saying, you know what? He's right. So listen to him when he says that. Don't eliminate him because he said something stupid in the past. Sometimes people will say things that make sense to you. Laura Loomer can say things that sound like, Jesus, God, she's off her meds. And then she'll say something and say, you know what? That's right. That's 100% correct. Alex, the best. I've got nothing but respect for that guy. Nothing but respect. And sometimes he'll do things. So what I'm saying is, listen to what people say. Listen to everybody. Everybody. Charles Manson. Charles Manson said, I never killed anybody. What are you asking me for? I didn't kill. He's right. Did I ever tell you about Vincent Bugliosi when I told him that? He went crazy, like went berserk. Went crazy when I said it. Anyway, because now we find out he was a psychopath in any event. So listen to people. Another thing to remember, this is not about politics. I want you to join us here. I don't care if you can be a Democrat, you can be a lefty or a communist or a right winger or a John Berger. I don't care. We're not talking. This isn't about Trump. It's not about Democrat Republican. It's about right or wrong. It's about the truth. It's about paying homage and celebrating the truth. Somebody says, I hated Candace a decade ago. Let me tell you something. I don't hate anybody. There are some people I don't particularly watch, or I think I understand, or I think they're kind of phony, but I don't hate anybody. I mean that. I mean it. I mean it. I mean it. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate. I never get upset with anybody. Nobody. Never. But I do want people to understand something. And maybe I think this is a great example. I would very much like to create a new potential political party where we bring people in that we've met in this journey and we sit down and we say, what is it that we all believe in? I don't think everybody, you might be a Christian, maybe you're not, or a Jew or religious. I don't think this is about this. I think we just sincerely identify the fact that Candace Owens is speaking the truth. That's what I think. And this has nothing to do with conservative. You didn't even talk about that stuff. It's about the truth. I can fool all the people all the time. Yeah, Erika. I mean, EK or ER? I guess. Thank you for that. Pardon me. Here we go. Thank you. I have a belief. That was very nice. There's no one on YouTube explaining things the way you do. I wish we had more thinkers like you. Well, thank you. I am not what people believe. I do not fall into these categories. I will hear you out. I will hear everybody out. You may make the most sense. I'm not a member of any party. I'm an independent. I've got to put on my campaign thing something to vote for the primaries, but I'm not Republican. Maybe one time, not now. Democrats, absolutely not. The parties don't make anything. Read Carol Quigley, Tragedy and Hope. This is the whole notion of the illusion of the left-right paradigm. It's two sides of the same coin. Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke. What the hell are we talking about? It doesn't really matter. There's something, though, that is really important, Johnny, by the way, says Kamala Harris and Erika KIRK probably, I like that probably, experience life the same way in more ways than one. You know, you're onto something there. You are onto something there. Both of this, very good. Both of them completely incapable of doing what they really want to do. Let me tell you something right now. If Candace Owens ever wanted to change the world, all she has to do is say, you know, there's a bill coming up in Colorado regarding late-term abortion. I think that's a terrible idea. And if I were you, I'd vote against, let's say, for example, that would have more of an effect than anything anybody could do. That's power. That's power. When you can sit there and you can say, what do you think about this? I hate people who sometimes come in and they change their mind. Like Bobby Kennedy. I was hoping to God he'd talk about vaccines, and he pooped out. They scared him or something. I started off, my friends like you, maybe we were all red-pilled. What was your moment? Maybe Candace, maybe this is your moment. That's why I want to get young people, and I want to bring them into the tent and say, no, wait. Sit down. Hi, nice to meet you. Have some crumb cake. This is it. Welcome. We don't have any names here. Tell me what you feel. Is this your first sense of deception? Like you detected, they lie. Good. You're growing up. Very good. Tell me how that made you feel. Yes. Good. Be on the lookout for that. Learn from this. Don't feel betrayed. Learn from this. Don't anticipate it, but don't be surprised by it. 9/11 was my thing, baby. 25 years ago, Mrs. L and I here in New York on that Tuesday morning. The most beautiful day you've ever seen. And I went like that. It was up and down, left and right. Wow. It changed everything because I was here and what they were telling me had nothing to do with what I saw, and I realized, it's the epiphany moment. And there's nothing better. Dogs don't have it, I don't think. Earthworms don't have it. Barnacles don't have it. Little kids don't have it. But when you, not only do you see something, but you feel this tremendous wonder and satisfaction in having cracked the code. Satisfaction, surprise, and elation. I got it. Awareness. I understand. It's where something like, there are very few times where it happens to me. That was my red pill. That was it. And I was off to the races. Remember, when I was born, my generation, I was 5 years old when Kennedy was, I remember my mother crying. That was pretty wild. I was like, what's going on here? By the way, that was the most brutal examination of something because it was live. It was live on the TV in its very raw form. And from 63 to 68, from 5 years old to 10 years old, I went through Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Bobby Kennedy, John Kennedy, the variety of different, those the black girls who were killed at the church and the Klan, and then went to Vietnam. Wow. You remember that? That was in the 7th grade. I wore this bracelet, this silver, my POW. And I rode away from it. And when the guy came, he was like a brigadier general. He wrote me a letter. He got back. I was like, wow, I was 12 years old. We were so much more enlightened. Our music. We had in our room, we had a black light. This movie, the peace signs, peace. We worried about world peace and war. This is 10 years old. Your music, for what it's worth, it was a different time. We only had 3 networks, but we knew what was going on. And we said, this is bullshit. Kennedy's bullshit. And everybody knew it. And it was okay. We didn't believe it. It was great. It was at left and right. And the Republicans were kind of like, we're kind of out there. America, love it or leave it. No, 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 no. And then it changed, and then it evolved, and it was the most incredible thing. And then Watergate, oh my God, 9/11, and Iraq, and what are we doing here? This is the craziest stuff I've ever seen. And it keeps getting better and better and better. Not saying better, but... So I'm used to it. I'm used to it. And that's why, going back to what's going on, many people are realizing you are front row in seeing... And by the way, Erika KIRK is not this evil. She's a phony. Ersatz, synthetic, fugazi, as we say in the hood. She's synthetic, paper thin, tissue thin, this veneer. She's not real. She's not buying it. Not buying it. She's not. It's a performative, and she's too. Because she won't give up. She's part of that. You understand? I'm a cheerleader. God damn it. I'm beautiful and you love me. And I'm not. And I'm going to wear the lame with this and the fireworks. Have you seen the great memes? We all grieve in our own way. People coming out doing acrobatic. Anyway. So my friends, do not lose hope. And let me tell you something. I have met some of the greatest people now. Some of you, many of you, we would never meet on any other situation. I don't know why. We just don't. Maybe you think one thing or you're what. I don't care if you're left or right. It doesn't matter to me. Democrat, doesn't matter to me. This has nothing to do with Democrat or Republican. No. It's about the truth. And it's about wanting to believe that maybe somebody like Charlie can change things. Maybe they can do this. Our good friend Davis Kenneth says, can you imagine how much Candace is holding back? Oh, God, yes. Not only that, you're right. And how much she's had to go through. And how much she's had to suffer from. And how much she can't tell you. And the threats and oh, my God. I think she's the hottest thing right now, bar none. And one of the slickest and most talented, one of the best communicators around. I mean, she's really, and it's just little old Candace. Nobody else, no team. You mentioned Tim Pool. A lot of people have to have somebody behind him. No. You can always tell who's really good. She's just good. And I'll tell you this much. Do you remember? Give me a number one. You don't have to say yes, but one, I can see the ones. Did you find yourself amazed by the number of young people who were crushed by the death of Charlie, the murder? And then friends of mine said, my daughter never told me, or my son. They listen to him every day. I didn't know this. And people that I found out said, I know this. See? It's just like, wow. He made an impact. It's like Billy Graham. Billy Graham was just, I don't think anybody recognizes how powerful he was. And he went out and he said stuff. And let me tell you something. My political beliefs and my religious beliefs or my spiritual beliefs or non-beliefs have nothing to do with my respect for somebody who commits themselves to an ideology, to a belief system, to a faith, especially one that involves work, that is not necessarily self-gratifying. They've got people who are, I can take you to Williamsburg. I can show you some Orthodox Jews, Lubavitchers, Hasidim, and whatever you think, they have devoted their entire lifestyle and everything they do. It is a commitment I don't have to anything I know. Poll has over 1,100 votes. Hit the like button. Yes, thank you, D-Star. Yes, the likes. I respect that. I used to go to, when I was just out of college, I worked for a U.S. senator, and I was part of the campaign team as well. And I used to love when we would go to the AME churches. Oh, black churches. Oh, my God. All day. People who believe in something. People who believe in something. We have a number of there's this Sisters of Life. There's this charity. There's this, well, not a charity. It's a group of nuns here in, you can see them in Hell's Kitchen, but they're part of the Cardinal O'Connor. These are nuns with the old-fashioned habits. You remember this? I mean, the veils, and they believe in helping young girls. They don't just say, have the baby, take the baby to term. They will help the mother to term. They will hide the mother if the father is trying to coerce her to have an abortion, or if there's any kind of physical threat. They take the young girl to the hospital or to the doctor for visits all the way through term, through birth. They live with them. They don't just say this. They do it. I got respect for that. 100% respect for that. They do it. It's easy to say, keep the child. You going to help me? Shit, no. You're on your own. These do it. By the way, if you've ever been to Catholic parochial school, it's the nuns who are the greatest. Priests, but the nuns, oh my God. I respect that. I respect commitment. I respect somebody. I like the Amish and the Mennonites. What the difference is, I still don't know. But the Amish, boy, they walk the walk. My God, I love that. And Charlie believed what he did. I truly, truly believe he believed what he said. He believed what he said, and he lived it. And looking back at this, Erika, her life, her past, I'm not saying she's some fallen woman or she's some Meretrix, some virago, some harpy, some Malkin, Grimalkin, some trollop, No, I'm not saying that. But I can't believe that she went from that lifestyle to this stuff without a couple of bumps in the road. And I think her rendition of her past is complete and total 100% 18 karat horseshit, which she started. I didn't, you didn't, but she did. Anyway, my friends, we have been on for an hour and 12 minutes. It is right now, it's gotten warmer. It's 5 degrees in New York City. And let me tell you something. You listen to me. I love being with you. I love this subject for one reason. Well, for other reasons, but I have met people that we might not necessarily have met arguing the same old geopolitical, stuff, left and right, that, which is interesting too, to an extent. Epstein files, how much can you say? Anyway, it's important. But it seems like I have met the best people here who see through this. I mean it. Sometimes the subject attracts the best people. So I want to thank you for that. I also want to thank you for following my beloved wife at Lynn's Warriors here on YouTube. All evening, I can't go too much. She's on the phone with a survivor all night. And I'm hearing this. It's like, it's unbelievable. She's sincere. She's the real thing. She's 18 karat legit. Lynn's Warriors, follow her. And follow this as well. So please like this. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to put some questions afterwards. And let me just tell you, to all of our super chatters and those who have donated, thank you so very much. I'd like to tell you, to acknowledge you as it happens as opposed to later on. It's very nice of you. Anytime you put money involved with something, that means a lot, especially today. These are tough times, and that means a lot to me. Don't think for a moment that I don't appreciate that. Because, by the way, it's just little old me. This is it. Me. This is it. Nobody else. Thumbnail, me. Pictures, me. Editing, me. I need 140 more to go. Zamin says, what Candace has, you can't buy. She's not for sale. Absolutely. Could not have said it better myself. Could not have said it better myself. 100%. You are, see? And you know what you do? You have been able to determine, you have been able to figure out, and you have been able to detect correctness and realness. I mean that, realness. A real sense of, you know what? She's legit. And I mean that. In any event, thank you, my friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great and a glorious day. And let me also say something. We're going to do this. I know this may sound kind of corny, but it's true. We're going to do this not for Candace per se, but for Charlie. Somebody's got to stand up for him. And one of these days we'll get to who was responsible. Because if you believe this Tyler Robinson bullshit, you are, I mean, there's no hope for you. It is so full of holes. It is. That's why Erika decided that she wanted to do that motion for speedy trials, even though it's an advisory capacity. A victim, so to speak, doesn't have the right to command or demand speedy trial, but that's what she did. And she wants to get this thing through so she can get back to it. And if Tyler, I'd love to represent him. I'd love to, just because of the greatness, just the courtroom stuff. So let me get this straight. Tyler Robinson, little Annie Oakley, he's a real sharpshooter with Grandpappy's shooting iron, 30-06. Did you zero in on that? First time. I mean, it is just. And where's anyway? Enough. We've talked enough. You've got stuff to do, and thank you. We'll pick it up again, my friends. Thank you so much for making it great. We'll see you next time. Stay warm, and until then, remember, as we always say, the monkey's dead. Show's over. Sue ya. Dad.